As EPL News here, and welcome to my review of Chelsea versus Swansea City, Saturday Night Football. So the game ended 2-2. Oscar with the opening goal, followed by an equaliser from Ayew, and then immediately after an own goal from Fernandez from a Willian shot, from a Willian cross, and then a Gomis 55th minute penalty which got Swansea back on level terms, and it stayed like that. So Chelsea finished with 10 men as their Premier League title defence got off to a pretty, in my opinion, frustrating start, having been held by Swansea at the Bridge, as I said. So Oscar's free kick put the Blues ahead, and then Ayew with some good skill, sort of had a good save from Courtois, to make a save, and then a superb bit of skill from Ayew after having had a snapshot at the first time, dragged it back, gets the defenders to commit themselves, and then puts it in. And then Federico Fernandez tried to put the cross over the bar, but ended up putting it in his own nets. And then there was a penalty given when Courtois took down Gomis when he was in on goal. I think it was truly and utterly an accident, and it was probably a bad call in my opinion from Courtois. It was very, very poor goalkeeping to make that decision. It was stupid. He was never going to win the ball ever in a million years. Asmir Begovic came off the bench and failed to save the penalty. Gomis slotted it to the right. And so obviously Swansea played with an extra man from about half an hour. So you really could say that, to be honest, they failed to take advantage of what they did. And Mourinho, I think, did well to try and salvage a draw out of the game, to be honest, because his side were not playing well and they were fortunate to get a point. I think it was still a fair result in the end because they did defend very, very, very well in the last half an hour, I thought, other than a couple of moments. The dangerous Gomis obviously had the ball in the net, but it was ruled offside straight after. Montero was fantastic, forcing saves from Courtois and Begovic when he was on the pitch. So obviously, just to go into more detail about my man of the match, I'd probably have to go with. It is a tricky one, but I think I'm going to go with Gomis because he was just quality throughout the entire of the game. His running took advantage of Terry and Cahill's lack of pace. He was always in behind the Chelsea defence. But then obviously notable mentions have to go to, I think, Cal Morton and Taylor, the Swansea fullbacks, were absolutely phenomenal. I thought they were bombing on forwards, they were making the right sorts of runs. The defensive contribution from both of them was good. And also Andre Ayew as well. He looked good on his first game. I've not really seen much of him at Marseille and his other clubs he's been to. But yeah, he looked quality, he looked the real deal. For Chelsea, Eden Hazard failed to really turn up. I thought Willian, I thought, was very, very, very good. Oscar again had a good performance. Ivanovic, very poor. Montero was ripped into pieces. Cahill and Terry, again, two good solid performances, other than the time when Swansea got through, when Chelsea had sort of went to sleep. But that happened quite a lot, I thought. But it wasn't because I would say Terry had a bad game. I'd just say that's one of his weaknesses. If people run in behind him with pace, then he can't handle it. Asmir Begovic, another good game, I thought, for him. Fabregas, I just didn't feel like he had the game at the scruff of the neck. He didn't have it like he had for Chelsea this time last season when he was playing absolutely incredibly with Diego Costa. Not quite on key today. Matic, again, looked solid, but still, that wasn't the problem for Chelsea. I thought the problem for Chelsea was creating chances, and the main reason this didn't happen is because Eden Hazard did not turn up. Diego Costa looked very, very, very sharp, I thought, very quick off the mark. More pace than I've ever seen him have before. He was absolutely sensational, I thought, in terms of running down the flanks and causing Swansea problems. He was top notch in that game. Although I did think Jose Mourinho's substitutions weren't quite right. Falcao coming off the bench, obviously forced to bring Begovic on, and Zuma. Quite negative really, because I thought Chelsea could have given Swansea a good game even with 10 men. I would have brought Ramirez on, definitely. When you're down to 10 men, you need Ramirez. If you remember when Chelsea played Barcelona in the semi-final and they got a man sent off, he was absolutely phenomenal that night. He's got bags and bags of pace, bags of energy, and he would have been absolutely perfect for that game, in my opinion. And again, like Remy or Moses, I would have thought should have come on, but neither of those two did. Obviously, Cuadrado doesn't even make the bench, I don't think, today. Yeah, he didn't make the bench at all, which is really unusual. But that, of course, that's a completely different talking point. So, really, I think the thing is, Swansea can take away from this game quite a lot, I think. Cork came off the bench due to an injury to Ki Sung-young, and I thought he put in a good game. He seemed very, very good, calm and composed on the ball. I think a player Southampton probably regret letting go to Swansea, in my opinion. I think he would have been a better replacement than Jordi Clasie for Schneiderlin. I'm not saying Jordi Clasie is a bad player, but I would have kept him last season. I wouldn't have sold him, but then maybe they didn't know Schneiderlin was going to go then. But yeah, so he was absolutely phenomenal. Sigurdsson obviously had an attempt with a free kick. I didn't think Sigurdsson got himself in the game enough, in my opinion. Andre Ayew was causing problems. Montero was causing problems. Both those wingers were, and Gomis up front was phenomenal, like I said. And Eder came off the bench, showed us a bit of his quality. I thought he looked pretty decent. So Swansea were good. They pressed, they get possession. The back four was completely solid. A couple of moments where they had lapses of concentration, where they conceded both. I mean, the second goal was just completely unlucky. And the first goal was, I think, probably, I'd say, against the run of play, really. I mean, Chelsea, it was a free kick, and it was Fabianski in goal. Really should have done more with it, but sometimes those just go in, and as goalkeepers, you just, as a goalkeeper myself, you really just, like, when you're in that situation, you're expecting someone to get a touch on it, you've got to wait to see if there's a touch, because if you dive across as if to save it, if it's going there, you can't do anything about it. If someone gets a touch, then they've got to tap in, so you've got to wait to the last moment before you go across. And I think he just waited way too long, and I think he got unsighted by Cahill and Matic, who ran across each other, who ran across the ball, so he didn't realise where it's going, because he steps to the right, and the ball goes to his left, so he doesn't realise, he doesn't set himself properly. But then again, that's, in my opinion, that's the keeper's fault, because he should be positioned perfectly to see the ball throughout the entire flight of it. But yeah, so for me, Chelsea in that game, not going off Swansea now, because they were terrific. I thought they did what they did last season, in my opinion. Good performance, solid away from home. But Chelsea really need to sort things out, right? Because in my opinion, right, they have not refreshed the squad. That 11 played last season, that exact 11 played last season, they have not made that team better. And in my opinion, that team can be made better. They could sign a better right back, in my opinion. Ivanovic is getting on now, right? He's not good enough in terms of, when he comes against someone pacey, as the likes of Di Maria, Ivanovic, he cannot handle it, and they need to sort that out very, very quickly. As Asmir Begovic, solid, best left back in the league, defensively. Cahill, good, but not world class, I don't think. Terry, again, he's ageing. They need to bring in Stones to strengthen that team, and I think you just give Stones and Zuma a good run in the Elite Cup and freshen the squad up, obviously. And I feel like they could improve on Oscar, and they could also improve on Willian, but Mourinho likes those two players, so they've got a problem in their hands, Chelsea, because they need something fresh, they need something new, something needs to be added to what they've got now, because the likes of Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United are all strengthening, and in my opinion, Chelsea have not strengthened whatsoever. Other than Begovic, all of the signings, in my opinion, have not strengthened. Falcao doesn't strengthen them, I think Falcao is the same as Didier Drogba, in my opinion, in terms of his ability. I mean, I think he's better than Drogba at the moment, but I don't think he adds to the first team, which is something that failed. Other than Moses, I think he does add a lot in terms of work rate, but other than that, nothing has been improved on the Chelsea team. So they need to improve. They need to improve quickly, because they're gonna lose it if they don't. Anyway, this has been Opinions here. Thank you very much for watching. Chelsea fans, comment down below your opinions. Swansea fans, comment down below your expectations of the season. I expect a top 10 finish for Swansea this season. Actually, I have good hopes for them. Chelsea, I still do expect them to finish in the top 2, I think, but they need to strengthen their team. Simple as that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a very nice day.